essentially you picked a character, and then you ran around shooting stuff. There's like Laser Beam just got killed there. And then you could fly, because Autobots could fly. And that's Hound right now. And when you transform, you get the Autobot theme. Your goal was to collect Energon cubes, and then go back to your teleporter base and build an Autobot logo. It was extremely hard this game. If you even screwed up the landing for a second, you died. If you walked to the left, you died. If you got hit by a Decepticon, you died. It was not an easy game at all. I'll just show you quickly the Decepticon, the Autobot logo collection there. There's a lot of footage. I just recorded myself playing, pretty much. So you would get all the, and then you would get all the loot, and then you got high score. Because back then, you played for high score. Not beating a game, no story, nothing. And then the only other cool thing really that there is to mention is that you can change your characters at any time. So you could just go to a teleporter and then go, hey, I want to be, I don't know, Sideswipe next or anyone. Well, not Sideswipe, Mirage. So that was the only really cool thing about it. But it wasn't really that great a game. And because it was so hard, and because the Commodore 64 was equivalent to $700 today, let alone probably what this was. I don't even know how much this was back then. It was super expensive. So then we jumped to 1986, and David Crane of Pitfall fame said, you know what, I'm going to take my crack at Transformers for the Commodore 64. And he invented Transformers Battle for Earth. Now, better packaging, but still, like I said. And David Crane also said, by the way, here's how it looks. This is still sealed in the original Saran wrap from 1986.
Ooh, I have that!
From, the reason why I have it says Rodimus on the cover, that's why. So I'm pretty sad. I was like, you gotta get it as Rodimus, and he's a main character in the game, but I'll show you that after. And because David Crane also dealt with a lot of computer stuff, they released it also in B-Drive. Remember the original floppy disk. So you had a choice if you wanted Soundwave or I don't know, Chip ripping it apart. I don't know.
Use Clip. Soundwave should have been a computer instead of a tape recorder.
Yeah, that's right. You're using Optimus Prime there.
So. But David Crane, because he was an amazing programmer back then, and he created Pitfall, which is pretty much the beginning of side-scroller games, he put all his programming into making sure that this game would have the most amazing intro for 1985. You pump it? It's really low. It actually has voice.
Whoa!
They were called Autobots and Decepticons. The brutal Decepticons were driven by a single goal: total domination. They set out to destroy the peace-loving Autobots as a war between the forces of good and evil raged across Cybertron.
On the right side,
The war vanished the Decepticons, draining its once rich sources of energy. The Autobots and Decepticons left Cybertron in search of energy, carrying their battle into space. Locked in mortal combat.
Well, you get the idea. He was pretty much taking the entire story. And but yeah, he made the effort to actually and then to show this story. So here we go. So here's years of that, shooting pipes of all people in every single game. But, Bumblebee with Hubcat's head. Blur. Oh, that one hurt. That one hurt a bit. Then we got Rodimus with trailer. And then David Crane, who didn't know anything about Transformer toys, was like, okay, we're gonna put Rodimus Prime and his buddy Hot Rod. What? Okay. So they fought alongside each other. And that was, the gameplay, sadly, was a shooter. Where you picked a character and you shot moving things. You put all the budget into the intro. This is why we never heard about this game. It was really bad. It was really, really bad. Just to show you here, there's the cast. So, again, David Crane was an amazing programmer. It's just that he kind of screwed up by saying, I'm going to give it the most amazing intro ever with sound and voice and everything for 1986, but the game's going to suck. So after you got past that 15-minute intro, you were kind of like, okay. I'm going to call it a day. Yeah. So, now we're going to get a little better. A little better. Not a lot better. The last one was a little bad. Nintendo finally got into the game. It was 1986, and Japan was loving the hell out of their Japanese continuity of Transformers. And so they wanted to make a game for themselves. And so the Super Famicom in Japan was the best-selling console easily in the past 25 years, and especially in Japan. So they made a game called Mystery of Convoy, starring Mr. Magnus. Now, I want to remind you one thing. When this came out, the Japanese had no clue of the movie. They didn't know about the movie until 1991, but they also didn't know that Optimus Prime was going to die. All they had was Scramble City, and so at the beginning of this commercial, if you look carefully, you see a Prime dying. Like, oh, I'm done. And the reason why it's called Mystery of Convoy was who's going to be the next leader. And so we were introduced to this Ultra Magnus character, and this is before Scramble City. And the game was extremely difficult. Extremely difficult. Now, I've only beaten the game once without cheating. And it took me forever. Without cheating. But I beat it multiple times cheating. Save states. Save states. Now, what I'm going to show you here, okay, so here is a C10 mint box, still sealed Mystery of Convoy from 1986. It's dead mint from the case, with the game still inside. Now, I'm crazy. That's all I'm going to say. Now, what was cool was...
You're crazy, you'd open it!
The super thing about it was to promote this game, Maggie Bond magazine did a promotion where they did a lucky draw for a silver edition, which was 1 of 50 made. So double crazy boy. And then also to promote the game even more so, they made a manga. The Mystery of Convoy manga, which I wish I did scans for you guys, but it's pretty much Ultra Magnus fighting all the different guys, and like you'll never see Ultra Magnus so badass in your life, except for the like he takes on like Bruticus alone and takes him out. This is,
Makes sense.
so I'll show you some of those characters Magnus goes up against. So there's the cover for those. If you get a really notice Mystery of Convoy instead of Convoy there, because what are the Japanese know of English, especially back in the 80s?
Yeah.
This was also done by Takara themselves. They actually did this in-house because back then Takara actually made video games too, before they started like going into other companies. So I'll give you the full sprite sheet here, and it has everybody. So I'll go through some of it for you guys because I know it's a lot. And I named stuff just periodic. So you have at the beginning of the game when you first started, you had Optimus Prime giving the Matrix pieces to Ultra Magnus. Here's some characters. You had Starscream, Blitzwing. First of all, these aren't the official names. These are what I interpret of them. There is no official, this is Starscream, but it's a red guy that turns into a jet that's red and blue. What do you think it is? Yeah. Acid Storm? So. Yes. So you have a tank guy. I'm assuming Blitzwing. It's a Decepticon. Chop Shop. It was some kind of weird looking prong thing. I'm just making up names as I go on. I literally made up a lot of these names. You had moon bases, dragon bombs. I don't even know what the hell I was even half this stuff. Now there was like an orangey yellow jet, and so I was like, oh, it's named Sunstorm, but it's probably not Sunstorm. That's in the way there. Oh, it's true, it's a little off there.
On the computer.
Just the computer.
To laptop. Or that way, right?
Well, no, but it's on the screen, it's perfect. That's why. Oh, okay, I see what you mean.
Tech support.
Tech support.
This is complicated.
But yeah, it featured, like, they actually made an effort to try to put a whole bunch of different characters in it, although they didn't make that ratio better. Okay. Thank you, Paul. Paul saves my ass every year because I'm bad with computers. So yeah, Rat Bat. Like, look, it's a tape that turns into a bat. What do you want me to tell you? And even fought these big, giant Decepticon logos. And in the manga, it shows Ultraman's fighting these big Decepticon logos that he's shooting. And it's just like, how am I going to stop this thing, you know? And so, you know, yeah, Rat Bat again. You fought the Nemesis, which is pretty cool on there on the right. And then he actually went up against a minor team. So he fought Venusaur. If you look carefully, you can see Dead End on the arm there. Like, if you look carefully. There was some rock breaker leader. A lot of weird characters. I put RX-79 because it looks like the Gundam. It's not even funny. I don't, because Transformers, that was their rivals at the time. They were trying to go against Gundam. I don't know. They put a Gundam in there so Ultramax could blow it up. Yeah. He would pop out of the ground, Magnus would shoot him missiles. So take that. You see the Ghost pop the Prime periodically through them. There's TFcon. Pretty cool that they put that in. Then you fought like a giant Megatron, and finally the final boss was TFcon. And yes, Ultra Magnus takes out TFcon. But yeah, so after you beat TFcon, you would be greeted with, I'll go through this too, that's a whole other thing. Oh yeah, I'll get to that. So when you beat the game with Ultra Magnus normally, you would get this normal, Watashi wa, Magnus no rasa uzugoi no katashi. You would get this message, and it would say you have to go back and collect the letters and spell this word, Rodimus. Now, you didn't know what Rodimus was back then. They had all these letters sprayed all over the levels, and you had to collect them. And that was retardedly hard to do, and I've yet to do that without cheating. And it spelled Rodimus. When you beat the game with all the letters collected, which would take you 7 years to do, you would get this message, and you would unlock Attack Rodimus Kumboy. And now you could use Rodimus Prime as the main character.
Wow.
Well, you'll see. I get there. The sad thing is, as Malloy was just about to say, is he was, aside from this beautiful shot here and his alt mode, he's an exact color repaint of Ultra Magnus.
I love it.
They were extremely lazy. They were just like, whatever. He's going to look different here. He's going to look different here. But everything else. So all you customizers, get your Ultra Magnuses and get started. I will buy one. I will buy a Rodimus colored Ultra Magnus, and Chris will laugh at me because
I'm already laughing at you.
You gave me an idea for something.
yeah, that's really cool.
Anybody got a spare on
This is just before. This is before we had no idea. The Scrum Student came out in late '86. This came out in early '86. So no one knew who Ultra Magnus was. They didn't know who Rodimus was. There was all this stuff that was suggested in little magazines that kids would buy.
They didn't know who TFcon was?
Again, that was all stuff that was like planned ahead. It was all shown in TV pages because you had that Ultra Magnus TFcon thing going on where they were on top of Metroplex fighting Galvatron and Megatron at the same time. There was all that TV magazines and they didn't know. We already had the movie. We already knew all this stuff that was coming. Japan was, this is before the internet. They didn't know. They had these TV magazines with color pages to tell them stuff. So a lot of it was hearsay. That's why, like, to this day, like, we have a lot of miscommunication of stories like, was Galvatron and Megatron same character in Japan? We don't know. We do know. So that game was really hard. Obviously, we didn't get a lot of games in America because they were really hard. Super Mario Brothers 2 in Japan was different than here. So we got, like, the Mario that we got with throw shot guys and pick up, vegetables. Because the real Mario 2 was really hard. I love that Mario 2, actually. And it's the same thing. So a game like this, that even in Japan, people were frustrated and needed strategy guide manga books to beat it. They needed whole books just to beat this game because it was so hard. You think they would take it to America where kids would rip their hair off?
So you have one of those strategy guide in Chinese?
Yeah.
You read it?
Oh my God, I have to do this.
Yeah, it was a very common thing in the Asian countries to do those kind of books. So they tried again. They keep trying. Even though Transformers was had 7 games, they keep trying. They want to do that perfect game. So in 1987, after Headmasters was complete, they're like, okay, we're going to do a Headmasters game. Now, another reason why we didn't get this one was it was something that we didn't get in Japan. We didn't get in America because of the disc system. Exactly. Now, this is the cover of it. I didn't bring it because I had to dig it up out of the garage. But this is the disc system, and what it looks like is it looks like a disc, literally, that's in a cartridge, kind of like a laser disc. I guess is the best way to put it. And that's what it looked like, more or less.
Cool.
That's the Famicom. That's like the Nintendo on the top there, how it looks in Japan. Under it was this humongous thing that you plugged in and you put in your disc system games. The first Legend of Zelda game actually was a disc system game, and it sold so well in Japan that they had to figure out a way to turn it into a cartridge, and they ended up doing it in the end. But for Headmasters, which didn't do very well, they felt, what's the point? We're not going to do all this programming and everything to bring it over. So I'm going to just give you right now the cast of characters that was in this one. Oh my God, everyone looks the same.
It's Voltron.
So we have, okay, you want to guess first? What do you think?
I'd say Cerebros, Chrome Dome, Hardhead, Highbrow, and Brainstorm.
You're pretty close, actually. The ones on the outside are the 4 Headmasters. You have Brainstorm, Chrome Dome, Highbrow, and Highbrow would probably be that one, and the Hardhead. But the center one was Rodimus Conflict. And it's okay. I think no one got it.
Well, I assume because it was the Headmasters game that we have Cerebros in.
So, I'll show you here. So here's how they look side by side.
Oh.
They looked exactly the same. What was cool, again, like the Headmasters game, when they transformed, you got the original alt mode. So you got like, that's Chrome Dome on the left, and then Rodimus is under it. But, and the one on the top right, that's later in the game when you get to play as Fortress Maximus. And it looks nothing like Fortress Maximus. Actually, it looks like Omega Supreme, actually. And the programmers went on to screw up even more because they made it look like Omega Supreme, his robot mode, but Fortress Maximus is alt mode. Who's that? Is Metroplex. So they screwed up on 2 accounts. So he transformed from Omega Supreme to Metroplex and called it Fortress Maximus. I'm sorry. So we'll give you a little gameplay footage. And you'll see how a disc system game works. And I'll show you some of the villains. Let's just pop this one up here. So, you have to load it up. There's loading time back then. The Famicom Nintendo. And it's cool because they actually did the intro for Headmasters and they made a...
Yeah!
Yeah, Ninja, sing it, Ninja. I'll sing it with you.
Hey, oh! Hey, oh! Hey, oh!
So they actually made the effort to do that, which is cool, but when they do something like this, and they did the whole song, the whole 3-minute song in chiptune. Okay, but I was like, fuck that, Like, I'm not gonna go through that. So you actually, like Legends of Zelda, you had to put in your name, and you had to like make an account, and it's saved onto the discs, which was so far you're only Chrome Dome, and you have to rescue everyone else. So yeah, it was shoot. Who's that black guy? I don't know. Shoot. Oh, this is gonna be really boring. I'll just Hey, when are we gonna get a Decepticon? Okay. So I'm going to just jump to when actually someone of recognizable, a little more. So finally they're like, hey, why don't we actually use a Decepticon? So let's go to the boss. Tripticon. Oh, wow. Tripticon, what happened, man? What happened? Maybe it's overkill. I don't know. That's a really big overkill, though. Snapdragon. Sure, okay. Freaking Snapdragon. It's a lot easier though. It's because you have a health bar instead of one-hit kill, and as you every time you beat a level, you rescue an Autobot. And so if you died, you could get another Autobot. Like it was like extra lives. So you had each character had 3 lives. But if you rescued an Autobot, that was 6 now. You could use Chrome Dome 3 times. You could use this, and then you had a save file. So if you got game over, you just start your save file with all your Autobots rescued. It was. You saw at the beginning where you had the save files, which is exactly Legend of Zelda, like how you did your save file. That was the disk system back then, and they didn't have, number one, it didn't sell well, and they didn't have the power to bring it over, so you never saw that game. Now, it was 1987, Transformers was already in America anyways, so Ninja Turtles was picking up, so they really didn't try. Now, like I said, Transformers was dead. Ninja Turtles took over, and they would dominate for a good 3 to 4 years. To the point that Hasbro didn't even care about the licensing anymore. This is before an age of nostalgia, and before an age of actually caring about their properties. So they were going to let Transformers go, the name even. Imagine losing the registration name of Transformers temporarily. But then a weird thing happened. A very weird thing happened, and everyone in this room is going to be seeing this for the first time, because I bought the cabinet, the actual card for it. It's an arcade machine. In the UK, what was going on was Transformers was still running in the UK, the toy lines. And they had a line of figures called Action Master Elites. Okay? Action Master Elites are retardedly rare, by today's standards, but they were a very weird-looking group of figures. That they were the character, but they were not the character. Omega Supreme, maybe Omega Supreme.
Oh, yeah.
Or Double Punch, maybe Scorponok, maybe not. So get a look at this guy. I want you to look at him really good, okay? I want you to look at him really good in those colors, okay? So that's Omega Supreme, all right? The legendary Omega Supreme, which is here. Okay.
You mean his bigger
Omega
brother,
Supreme has,
Omega
has
Supreme?
a lot of videos of Omega Supreme making him sound like an angry black man. So, and then I want you to remember another thing about Omega Supreme was one of his alt modes, although he kind of had multiple alt modes, but in Season 3 he used his rocket transformation. I want you to remember that, okay? Remember this. Now, remembering that, I just want to make sure in the year 1991, in the United Kingdom only, when Action Master Elites came out, Sega of the United Kingdom took advantage of Hasbro not caring about their license and released Transformers for the Sega arcade system in 1991. No S, so they could get around it. Get ready to get shocked. The main character, also known. His name was I kind of completed the rest of it for you all. Okay? No one knows about this. This is real. I'm going to show you some footage in a second. I apologize. There's no sound in the footage because I can't record an arcade machine properly with sound.
Does he control the element?
I suggest, no he doesn't. I suggest you can go on the internet. I'm not promoting emulators, but you can find Transformers for MAME and download and play this game. It is legitimate. So here's some gameplay of the unknown Transformer. Oh god, it's huge. Again, I'm sorry because that's why I had to like really. Let's pull it up a bit there. Okay, I'm gonna kill the volume because you're gonna get massive feedback from this. There we go. So insert a coin. So I had to put some money. Oh, he died already. Come on. Oh god. There we go. There we go. So shoot, shoot, shoot. No one looks like Decepticons or Autobots or anything because it was like we're just gonna copy the main character. We're just gonna like use a Action Master Elite or whatever. And come on, you gonna transform in time? Oh god, yeah. Transform, please. Great. Oh, we'll get into that after. Don't worry.
How do you transform this push button, or do you have to like do it out?
It was just a push button. I obviously probably didn't record any footage of the transformation. This is good. This is very bad. I must have some of it. Wow. It is so hard to find footage of this, let me tell you.
This would be a great show.
Okay, there we go. In the insert coin. So And you would just push a button, and boom, you would transform, Omega Supreme style, Milk Daddy, yo. And then you had 3 shots, like that, and then back. So you turned to a rocket ship, Omega Supreme colors, now you saw something you could brag to your grandchildren about. Okay.
That is.
That's not on the wiki, that's not on anything. So, yeah. So, now, this game actually, I did some history and found out that the reason why they were able to cobble this game together was they actually took an old Sega Master game called, also peculiarly, Transbots. And they took the programming from that game, cleaned it up, and put it into an arcade machine, called it Transformer, made it Omega Supreme, colored, and that's it. So if the only way you can play this game at home is technically to get the old Sega Master System game. But it doesn't really, it's not as Omega Supreme colored, and I mean, God, that looks like Raiden from like Super Robots on the cover.
There's a little pervy now that
He's pointing at the game beside it.
Yeah, he's pointing at the game, this is bad. Okay, so that was 1991. Now, again, another attempt at making a Transformer game. In 1993, Generation 2 came out. They were like, hey, why don't we bring back our license? Before the UK made another bad game. So they were going to make a G2 game. And they were working with Super Nintendo together, and they were working on the FX technology, which was being used for a game called Star Fox. And they were going to make a 3D Transformer game where you would use Ramjet, Jazz, and a whole bunch of other people.
Be careful, it's a trap.
Ultimately, in the end, it never happened. But the technology for that game was kept and then used on another game. And in 1993, Vortex came out. And Vortex it's using 100% the Transformer programming for the Transformer game, but they just added like anime characters and ignored everything. So you're going to see in a second here. Just jump forward. Launch. So you would launch the character, and then lots of full. That was going to be the G2 game for Super Nintendo, more or less. Thank God, eh? It wasn't that good, but yeah. It was, I don't know what they were trying, like maybe they were going for Starscream or something. Again, it was the FX technology with Star Fox, so they weren't sure where they were going with that, completely at all. No, it's just that it was going to be the G2 game, and it just never happened. So again, more emptiness, G2 bomb. So now we move on to
Beast Wars.
Now, Hasbro finally says, you know what, we've been freaking up way too much now, so we're going to make our own gaming company called Hasbro Interactive. And they hyped a Beast Wars game like crazy.
even the analysts show.
Okay. Beast Wars
Looking back now,
for the
like,
PlayStation,
no,
also
that
for the
was
PC.
playing the Beast Wars game in animation. So.
That's how good that game is. I wish David K was here. We're gonna show. Now I'm gonna show you right now. I apologize in advance. What are you doing, Evangelist? you're in for a surprise, Evangelist.
It's really clever.
No!
Is it actually working? Just kidding.
I wrote on the disc because I knew someone was going to go for it. I wrote just kidding. Because I knew someone was. Whoa, screw that! I'm getting a PlayStation game. Now the first thing that sucks about this game, more than anything, is the voices. Where's David K? He would. David K didn't get called in for this.
He's at a family reunion.
I apologize in advance, everyone. Listen, shh. I want you all to listen. I want you all to listen. This is Hasbro's Hey, Hasbro, you think this is a good idea? No. Take heart, of course. Still had a gaming habit.
Operation Sector 7, United System, failing!
The full power.
You're doing a major fade!
Sure.
Going down.
Why not? Okay.
Yes, the planet has energy.
Who the hell is
Too
that?
much energy.
Continued exposure to unaltered forms will result in permanent damage.
Create alternatives based on the most powerful local creatures.
Scanning the location of local life forms. Complete. You may emerge.
So, now they've seen a lot of footage from the show, but they pretty much got some bumps off the street for Louis' voice acting. I think Super 3D probably would have done a better day today. The game was horrible, to say the least. I'll give you some footage right now to give you an idea.
We had enough. We have enough.
It gets better. No, I'm getting to the good game.
Okay.
I really am.
I'll talk, I swear, I'll talk.
Yeah, but a lot of us have probably played that.
So you picked your faction, you pick your area. Ready? Pick it already. And it was so stoic and choppy, this game, and Hasbro just wanted to throw something so quickly together for this. So you had Scorpionaut, you had Waspinator was a focus character, Light, Inferno was just a ground character, but he didn't have light. Loading time, sorry.
Beast mode.
Where's David K? I want to know if he gave an audition for this or something. What happened? So you actually have to stay in beast mode a majority of the game, otherwise you suffer from energon damage, which is the right bar. And yeah, oh wait, what the hell is that? You know, there was a lot of weird aliens that were just not fun, just random dudes. So like this mission was you had to get to stop Ironhide from Rhydon's putting his engineering probe on top of this pyramid. And I swear it takes forever to get to the top of this thing. And the footage actually runs out before you reach the top. It was extremely frustrating, extremely hard, choppy, voice acting was bad, the game was difficult, just a cornucopia of problems. And the PC version promised multiplayer. The multiplayer would crash every time. So Hasbro pulled out. And this is before a good internet Wi-Fi connection. We're still talking 56K most people. So imagine how this game ran. Now, Hasbro's like, wow, we're not doing any of that now. So there was a lull period for a while, and well, we'll get to that. There was a lull period in America, but in Japan they were like, okay, well, we're going to show Beast Wars, and we're going to have our anime series Beast Wars second, and there was a demand for that, so we ended up getting a crazy game called Load. The name was Dual Fight Transformers Beast Wars Warriors Strongest Decisive Battle.
Nice.
Oh, and I forgot Super Life Form Transformers. Yeah. It was a actually very good game for a Game Boy Color game. I will admit. It was a fighting game. It might be a little loud. Paul, you might have to this one is recording an emulator of no cache GMD was a little loud. Might be a little loud. Probably too loud. Takara again did it. They still have their studio at the time making games. And they actually did good this time. So you got it's done on a Super Game Boy, so you have the borders, which are really nice. For Super Nintendo, if you wanted to play with a friend, play 2-player against a friend. Yeah, it was a fighting game. So the story was, it was kind of based on the story for Beast Wars Second, where they were trying to get the Gaia energy. I'm not going to translate that, but it's pretty much, we have to get the Gaia energy, so we're going to have a tournament to determine who will get the Gaia energy, yada, yada, yada.
It's a fighting game, nobody cares about the story.
Yeah, exactly.
That's like playing Mortal Kombat with the story.
So, you had, and I'll just go through it quickly here. You had Leo Convoy, you had Scuba, also known as Clawjaw in America. You had Cheetor. They all like cutesy faces too, like because it was like an SC. You had Optimus Primal, also known as Convoy. You had yes, it's not Stampy, it has Mean Kid. And then at the top, it's kind of hard to make out because they're almost, that's supposed to be Galvatron from Beast Wars Second. This is supposed to be Megastorm, also G2 Megatron's like tank body. You had this one was the Triceratops guy. Oh my God, what is his name? I know.
Guildar.
Thank you. I was gonna say Guildar, but I'm trying to think of the American name.
Oh.
What was he called?
Triceradon.
Triceradon for Beast Machines, yeah.
Yeah.
Megatron and Moon. But Moon you played as Moon was a Beast Wars second character. That was she turned into
Secret character.
yeah. So then you can like switch over and you can make them angry. That's a little joke. That's a little joke in the select screen. You can make them angry if you don't pick them or select. Again, it was more of a cutesy game. Yeah. The Game Boy in Japan was really aimed towards children. It was supposed to be a portable thing that you brought to cram school. So the market was for children. So they wanted to make more cutesy and everything. So we have Gildart versus Comboy, or Optimus Prime.
It's pretty well done.
It was very well, again, for its time, it was very well done. You could transform anytime you want in the middle of battle and it would change your attacks. Down forward and you do like fireball attack, bang, right there. Slash attack, boom, you know. And then, you know, Cheetor was more like, you know, boom, you can transform, oh, good butt. And his butt there. Because monkeys use their ass, you know. But, you know, and that was a really good game. And the last boss was a secret character that was actually created in a mail-away contest. There was a contest in Japan where kids submitted designs for Transformers. And they created a character named, oh God, why is it escaping? Star Upper. I should have wrote it down on my notes. Star Upper, who was a kangaroo that punched and everything. And he was the last boss, who was protecting Almorgus energy. And then he does his pose and everything, like Ryu too with the arms and everything. And it was a very good game though. It was a very good game, but it just didn't sell because Game Boy was on its way out with the Game Boy Color. Sega, you know, the Game Gear was actually popular in Japan for some weird ass reason. So we would get, now that was 1997, so there'd be a 2-year lull of nothing. But in 1997 was the beautiful thing, the internet and emulators. And with emulators came ROM hacking. And so we got a lot of talented people taking Nintendo games and making their own spin on things. So I will give you, without further ado, some of my faves. So we have Jetfire, which was, they took Macross. Macross is a regular Nintendo game. So there's Optimus, walk. Yeah. I have to play it below. So there's Jetfire. There's Gear Walker mode. And then Transform! Oh, god damn it. Damn it, Laserbeak! And then we're gonna get some Skywarp soon. Laserbeak with thingies on top of them. And then Skywarp, or Thundercracker, I guess. And then, I guess that's supposed to be Starscream, however we're gonna try and play that. Again, very simple game. If you played the original, it just was repetitive over and over. It's a shooter. Next one we got was, this one is amazing. This one's called Pinball Wars. It was an RPG pinball game. Only came out in Japan. So they did Pinball Wars. Okay? Now you chose your pinball playset. So you have Transformers, Generation 2, Beast Wars, or the Pinball Wars RPG. And that's what's cool about it, because it was actually an RPG. And the story was, Rodimus was kidnapped by the Decepticons. There's Rodimus at the top, and there's RC. Rodimus gets kidnapped, and there's Optimus like, no, I will save you, Rodimus, but I gotta turn into a pinball to something, chasing over secret jets. So it's a pinball game, and so this is Generation 1 that if you really know your stuff, you could go, okay, that's probably the aerial box. So, and he was a wacky. Come on! What I'll do is I'll show you what the other levels look like. So here, Beast Wars. So look, there's Waspinator was you have Kill Bison, you got Swim 8, you got like Rhinox there. There, Primal Heads, come on, yeah! Anyways, it was a funny game because it was an RPG. So there's Optimal Optimus there, there's box art. Here's another wacky one. Master Force Pretenders, the wrestling game. have Metal Hawk against Skull Grin. Come on. And I don't know. Oh, yeah. 1, 2, and that's supposed to be a landmine, counting them out. Oh, crap, he's pissed. So that's another one. They did a puzzle game called Shockwave. I actually like this one. This one's pretty fun, just on its own. Give me the name, Shockwave. And it was a puzzle game where you actually had to and there's your Shockwave, and you shoot. You had to collect energon cubes, and every time you shot something, it pushed it aside, so it was like puzzle solving essentially. It was very simple. You have the first one was obviously a no-brainer. You just got to collect the energon cubes, and there's 300 levels of this. It was just a puzzle solving game, but really cute. And if you like Shockwave, Shockwave's awesome. I like Shockwave. And then, in my opinion, the most extensive and best ROM hack ever. They took Super Mario 2, The Return of Unicron, starring the Dinobots. Unicron has stolen a cloning device and used clone transformers to create a new body. Your Dinobot squad will land on the surface and infiltrate Unicron's superstructure. Make your way up to the power core, because you have to make your way up to the warp stream, and locate Unicron's brain and kill him. So you pick from Dinobots. Now you have Grimlock, Slag, Snarl, and Swoop. Now Swoop was princess, so he's going to be the one that flies. No, it's just going to fly. Now, I'm going to stop right there. That was Blaster. Look at the door. It's Blaster. Okay? Every single thing in this game is a G1 or G2 character. Everything. That's supposed to be, I guess, Inferno. I don't know who that dude is waving, but I'll come up. Hey, that's, I guess so. How you doing, bro? Okay, let's go in here. All right. Yeah, hold on. So you got Skyward with them?
Best game ever.
Who else is this supposed to be? I don't know. Let's keep it on. I actually have a list of who every single person is. Ow! So he turns into, and when you're small, you actually turn it back into, you actually turn it back into your alt mode, which is pretty cool. I picked up the power thing. That's just, wow. The cherries were Laserbeaks. Yeah, I'm just gonna try. I just want to get to Birdo. Well, where's Boston? Oh, that was the one up. This is supposed to be the bomb. It turns into many different things. It goes ape crazy. Turns into Unicron face when it explodes. That's supposed to be the shell. Die. I'm just gonna take for people who know Mario very well. Sorry, it's hard to play Snap. That's supposed to be the Spark Bullet. The lacrosse.
Where are the vines supposed to be?
I have no idea. They did a lot of just interpretations, like they're doing a dance there.
Is that Inferno or Pyro?
So I guess maybe it's supposed to be a whirl or some helicopter guy for that. We go with it. I'm sorry, guys. Give me a second. Unicron face. You didn't get some time. Look carefully. There we go. That one, yeah, I do, but it's not as interesting in my opinion. This one is they really. So, Birdo was Omega Supreme. And he shoots Starscream. Bring it, let's do this. I better not get game over, I'm gonna look bad.
Yeah, that's right.
One more time, boys. Yosha! And then that's supposed to be, oh my god, I'm stuck. I already got it. I don't need the hearts. There we go. And then that's supposed to be Metroplex, and his legs open up, so you go inside Metroplex's legs. Now that was the beauty of the internet. So during those 2 years, a lot of creative people, I want to credit Grimlick, who pretty much pioneered the Transformer gaming hacking community. He has tons of hacked games. He will take a Game Boy game about Donkey Kong in terms of a black arachne game. Like he'll do anything. And so try to find stuff online. It's Grimlin. It's in Google. He still does all the time. He takes whatever's current. Like I bet you it was an animated game. There'd probably something.
There is a DS game I have it. It's a puzzle game.
No, I'm saying like hack stuff. Hack stuff. I'm saying. So now there was 2 years. We're in 1999, and the Japanese were like, we're going to take our take at Transformers again, and they gave us a game that, in my opinion, wasn't too bad. It was pretty damn good, actually. And so I present to you. No, not the end of what it called. In 1999, we got for the N64 and for the PS1 Beast Force Transmetals. This is the Japanese version, which is a lot more badass. I want you to look carefully; it's hilarious too. And look, I'll let you watch. Now you can see some characters done by mainframes for the first time in CG. Look carefully now. Here it comes. Should I go right now? You see Transmetal on camera right now? Mainframe did all original animations for this. David came, all the original voice acting came back to voice it. And you had new CG scenes too. I want you guys to think of something funny here. Because they pair off people. So they have like Optimus versus Megatron, they put Rat Trap against Rampage. It's really cute. Watch. Watch. Right here. Poor Rat Trap. This game did insanely well for them, and it actually spawned fighting tournaments and everything. It was a fighting game. I'm going to pull up the box art for you guys here. This is how it came out in America. It was called Beast Force Transmetals. It was available for the PlayStation, and for the N64, it was a Blockbuster-only exclusive. You can only rent it, not even buy it, which kind of sucked. But the PlayStation version was available for purchase, and it's very good because PlayStation, because it had that video technology that N64 didn't have, you got those amazing video scenes there. I'm going to show you, there also was, you had the main cast that I just showed there, but you also had unlockable characters. And what was really, really, really cool about that was the effort that went into the unlockable characters that they picked. So you got, I'm just going to get there. So you had Optimus Primal, Rat Trap, Cheetor, Silverbolt, Tarantulas, Quick Strike, Megatron, and Rampage. And then you had 4 unlockable characters. The 4 unlockable characters were, and these were really nice, they actually rendered them and everything, but they couldn't get the original voice actors for them, so that's why they were the unlockables. And a new character that never was done in Beast Wars. So you got Tigatron, although when this loads, because this is so... Come on. There we go. Yeah, Tigatron. And you got little voice scripts every time you pick someone. Or went over them.
Let the trails lead where they may. I will follow. Recklessness is a
Wind Razor from Protoman.
I use deception for the purpose of good.
I served under the original Megatron.
Rampage.
I use deception for the purpose of good.
It was pretty cool because Wind Razor was the Bachman 99 exclusive, which was pretty much, it was a repaint of Silverbolt. And so they actually created a character for the storyline, and he's used in the CG. So you have Wind Razor along with Silverbolt being buddies. And when they do this double attack together, they go with all my sparks might. They both go in the air and shoot. And it's really cool stuff, this game. I'll just show you.
The original Megatron.
I'll show the act.
Ram start.
So we're going to have Ravage versus Megatron. So we're going to have kind of like a agenda part 3. Yeah, loading time is pretty bad. I should give stats on every character, including how tall they were, so now you know how short that trap is. It was only, according to this, only 780 centimeters. Doesn't make too much sense, but low. And so David K. at his finest.
I want no witnesses. New package, same product, losers.
And it was a fighting game. How it worked is you charged attacks and shot at each other. You can use close range attacks. You can transform at any time. Use your transmetal mode. And yes, transmetal mode meaning that even Tigatron had a transmetal mode. He actually got something similar to Cheetor. And same thing. Yeah. So like he didn't turn into a tape like he did in the show. They just gave him the Cheetor rename. So, and then it's just them fighting each other. Hopefully in the end, you're gonna get a victory here. There, he does his super move here, the double arm blast, which ravages 2 clean cannons that he had in G1. There's a lot of damage. Stasis lock. Instead of KO.
Oh, wow.
Decepticons, forever!
Yeah.
Wow.
This game is pretty easy to find online. It's a very good game, so you just go out and buy it. And the Japanese love the hell out of it. It kind of opened the floodgates for then Transformer games to be more common. Let's see. So next, one of my personal favorites, and it's going to open up a lot of interesting things later. In 2003, we were introduced to Transformers Call to the Future. Now, we had everyone screaming for a G1 game. So, Takara with Wikisoft, which was a Japanese small company, decided to, let's pull our shit together and give everyone what they always wanted, a Transformer game based on G1. This was in 2003, only in Japan. These guys put a lot of love into this game. They made sure every character you ever loved in that generation was there. At least it was some popular fun. My stuff wasn't in jazz. Really guy. Chrome Bill. And the man himself, They got Chrome. Yes, Why? This was that. Reenactment of no. Why is it screwing up?
It's too awesome.
It's too awesome. No, the internet sucks here. So, hey, it screwed up there. So, that game had a lot of characters though, and the story with that was after the movie storyline. Shockwave survives and he gets this powerful energy source called the Zell Quartz. And he uses that to become like super insanely powerful and he kills all the Decepticons and betrays like Galvatron and Galvatron like runs off. They have to change the future. So Rodimus goes back in time with the skeleton crew of Autobots. This is now Rodimus Convoy, the leader from season 3. He goes back in time to prevent the future from happening like that. And so while he does that, Galvatron's like, I'm going to follow him and make sure that happens because Galvatron's an idiot. So Galvatron follows him back in time. And it's essentially a Double Dragon kind of beat-em-up fighting game. So you pick a crew of 3 people. You can be like, okay, I'm going to be Optimus, and 2 guys that will help me fight will be like Ultra Magnus and Jess. And again, 78 characters to pick from. So You could have your dream team from your childhood. If you wanted to have Sunstreaker and Sideswipe with, I don't know who's leading you, Bumblebee, you know, like. And what was cool about it too was, this game was actually kind of planned to come out in America because everyone was voiced in English. Now we're not talking Peter Cullen, but it was a good attempt at least. They tried. Like the guy who does jazz tries to do Scatman jazz, and this is in Japan too. So I'm going to get back to some very interesting footage of this game at the end of the panel. So Chris, wherever you are, the other Chris.
I'm also selling copies.
Yeah, and he has the game too, and it's a very good game.
I'd say it's more like Dynasty Warriors.
Yeah, well, it's a beat 'em up. You know, like it's a wonderful. So I'm going to get back to that game for the final thing because there's a very interesting revelation in that game afterwards. So in 1993, at the end of it, Takara was kind of working out crossovers with different companies, and we were given a very wacky game, which is akin to Smash Brothers.
In December 2003, you'll be the witness of the miracle.
The miracle.
Konami, Takara, Hudson.
It's Smash Brothers with Congo. There's Devastator. We'll see more of that. Give it a cast, people. Yeah, Beyblade. You'll see how they're going to show everybody. Simon Belmont. And then unlockable characters, so yes, dude. We got a lot of wacky stuff going on. There was a level you played, you fought on Devastator. Devastator just kind of sat there and took it. It was a very wacky. I don't even know where to begin with this. But yeah, so the cool thing about that game was, aside from it being like, it was exactly like Smash Brothers. I think the reason why they bring it to America is it would have been a licensing nightmare. Why would they have a Takara product, which would be a Hasbro product over here, fighting alongside Beyblade, which was Bandai? It was a mess. So they were just like, we're not bringing it there. But it was a great game. If you love Smash Brothers, now you're playing like Smash Brothers Dream Game, where you're having Beyblade against Optimus Prime. The unlockable character, if you beat the game with Optimus Prime, was Megatron. And what was cool too is you unlocked different colors for Optimus. So you have Powered Convoy, which is Ultra Magnus technically. You have Black Convoy and Shining Magnus, which is a yellow repaint of Optimus Prime. So oddly enough, there's 2 Ultra Magnus repaints there. And for Megatron, it wasn't anything as homage-y. It's just, yeah, a gold Megs. Look at that crotch piece. They really emphasized the toy. This crotch. Yeah, the crotch was, that's the reason. So then we move on to one of the last games I'm going to talk about, because I'm not going to talk about movie games, I'm not going to talk about stuff that's been done recently, because we've all played it ever since 2007. So the last big game before the movies came was Transformers, also known as Prelude to Energon, or what we all call it. Yes? Okay. I'm just going to go through it quickly. This game was very good. It was done by Atari. And a lot of people bought it thinking it was going to be a G1 game, but it wasn't. I'm just going to show quickly, actually, you know what? Because we don't have much time, I'm just going to give you guys a special treat, which is if you beat the game for Call of the Future, the G1 game I was showing you before, if you beat the game perfectly, meaning you beat it without dying once, you beat the game with Optimus Prime, Rodimus, and Ultra Magnus as your final team, and you beat the game perfectly without dying once, you are treated to a special secret ending, which is quite, I wouldn't say revealing, but it proves a point that a lot of fans have been screaming about for specific things. Just open here, so I can get the FLV player. This is right after you beat Yellow Star. Like fighting.
more danger than I thought. Leave this to Rodimus and myself.
This is
The
a
rest
special
of you get
item.
out of here now.
Loading. It's actually a special ending you only get at the beginning. It's very hard to get it perfect. Yeah, it does.
The Autobots had regained the cell quartz, but the laser transmission array was out of control. It appears that even if we return the crystal to its proper place, we can't reverse the damage. This whole place is going to blow up and take us with it.
It's because all the planet's energy is concentrated here. When that energy is released, there will be a global catastrophe, and there will be nothing we can do about it. There'll be an enormous number of casualties.
We can't let that happen. We have to do something. It's too late. Too late! Normally, we could fly away to escape. But no one can escape this. Fools! You're going to die here with us. Shut up! Behold the fruits of your desperate labor. Your empty talk of justice won't help you now. Can justice stop this disaster? Matter. Nothing to say. We shall all perish together, Prime.
Optimus is at a loss. Could this really be it for us?
Normally it's a game over ending if you do it incorrectly. But here comes a badass version of that right now.
Rodimus,
Yes. What is it, Optimus?
it's all right. I've got an idea. He just can't admit he's beaten. Just now, you said justice was empty talk, didn't you, Galvatron?
And here's a line you talking about.
I did. Justice. Justice is a precious thing. It gives us courage and guides us to the truth. And now, I will show you that truth. The power of a crystal that holds in it the wisdom of all Autobots who have ever fought in the name of justice.
Crystal of Wisdom? Right, of course.
Not that.
Time to kick it into awesome.
Now, Rodimus,
Yes, Commander.
Double Matrix.
the Matrix! Turn on them! What's this? What's going to happen? The Matrix. Passed down through the seven generations of Autobot leaders.
The power of justice. Now.
What's that? That light?
Very fun.
That's it?
Nope. So when you beat, they both get fried. Big time. And so there's a big epilogue, and they talk, but just right at the end, there's an interesting like revelation that a lot of
This time you've gone too far.
here we go. RC is playable. It's just
I've gone far enough.
The Decepticons have retreated back across the space bridge.
Just want to show you the special part at the end of the game. The revelation. Rodimus admits something.
I'm sorry, Commander, but looks like we won't be able to leave together.
What?
Look,
They're going back to the future.
What's happening?
What in the world? The power of the Zell Quartz is gone. And with it, history has been changed. They're going back to the future.
So, this is goodbye, Commander.
Maybe we'll meet again in the future. Right, of course.
Here we go.
Listen, something terrible will happen in the future. We have to tell you before we go back.
No, we don't need to know about the future.
But because of me, you... That's right. Sir,
Take care. Become a great leader.
Commander Prime, it was only for a short time, but it was an honor to fight alongside you. To me, you will always be the greatest leader the Autobots have ever known.
I'm no extraordinary leader. I have had Autobots who hold the dream of justice in their hearts fighting bravely for me. That is all. I'm nothing more than a simple Autobot soldier who loves justice. That is all you need to be too. Long before there ever was a Rodimus Prime, there was Hot Rod, Autobot Cavalier.
Yes, sir.
Farewell, Rodimus.
Goodbye, Optimus.
Until all is one.
Yes, until all is one.
Japan.
They left?
Guess we should get going too. Yes, let's go. Somewhere, a new battle awaits us.
And that concludes our panel. If you want that awesome game, Downshift's Table actually has multiple copies of it. It's very good, that game. You need to have a mod.
And also, as a nice segue with the video games, you can have a chance to win a copy of the War for Cybertron game by playing Faction Feud at 8 o'clock. So there's still time to register. The signboard is just outside this room right here. You can make a team. You have a great chance to win.